You ever wonder why some foreign words just click, while others, no matter how many times you drill them, just won't stick? Well, today, we're cracking open a classic 1983 teaching manual to uncover some timeless and honestly brilliant secrets about how we actually learn a language. And these secrets, they might just change the way you think about words forever. It all kicks off with this really simple puzzle. Okay, so check this out. On one hand, you've got words like cowboy and rock star. Chances are you picked those up without even trying, right? They just sort of seeped into your brain. But then you've got the super basic textbook words like window and door. And for some reason, those can be a total pain to remember, even after tons of flashcards and repetition.
So what gives? Why is one so much easier? It seems like a simple question, but trust me, the answer blows the lid off a huge flaw in how we've been taught languages for a long, long time. And to solve this mystery, we got to go back a bit.
All right, so to figure this out, we need to take a little trip back in time to a pretty weird period in language teaching, a time when, believe it or not, teachers were actually told not to teach new words.
Yeah, for decades, there was this huge push away from teaching vocabulary. It started back in the 40s when everyone got really focused on grammar to kind of overcorrect for past methods that were just boring word lists. Then, in the 50s, this fear of mistakes took over. The thinking was if students know too many words but don't have perfect grammar, they'll just mess things up. And it gets even wilder. By the 60s, some experts were arguing that you can't even teach the true meaning of a word in a classroom, that it's something you can only learn from, life experience. I mean, this got so extreme that the author of the book we're looking at, Virginia French Allen, pointed out that some articles were literally suggesting it was better not to teach vocabulary at all. Can you even imagine that? A language class where you don't learn words. And the result? Well, it was a disaster. Language class became this dry academic exercise in memorizing grammar rules. It had nothing to do with actually talking to people. It just kind of sucked the life out of the whole thing. Okay, so what's the fix? The book brings back this simple but honestly game-changing idea. The secret to making words stick, you have to create a need for them. A sense of need. So what is that exactly? It's this feeling that a word isn't just another item on a quiz. No, it's a tool. It's a key you need right now to do something. You need it to play a game, to understand what someone's telling you to do, to get your idea across. Basically, you gotta make the word necessary. And the logic behind this is laid out in these 5 simple facts. First off, learning foreign words for things we already know, like a door or a window, is actually really hard. Why? Well, because we already have a word for it. We don't feel any real need for a new one, especially if we're not using the language every day. And that's why the teacher, or you yourself, has to create that feeling of, I need this word now. Just being told, oh, this will be useful someday, yeah, that just doesn't work. So how in the world do you create this need? Simple. You stop passively memorizing and you start actively using. You make the language a tool for doing stuff in the real world, right here, right now. So what does this look like? Okay, instead of just showing you a flashcard of a door, a teacher gives a command. All of a sudden, the words touch and floor aren't just things on a page. They're instructions for something you have to do right now. See? You have to understand the words to complete the task. And that creates an instant personal need for that vocabulary. It's active, it's physical, and man, is it memorable. And get this, the book points out just how powerful this is. We're talking over 100 essential verbs that can be mastered just through simple physical commands like these. That's incredibly efficient. Now, if this all sounds kind of familiar, it should, because this is exactly how we all learned our first language as kids, right? We learned words by responding to things, by touching things, by interacting with the world around us way before we could ever conjugate a verb. This whole method just taps back into that natural, super powerful way of learning. But, of course, learning a language isn't just about simple nouns and verbs. As you get more advanced, you start to realize that words have all these hidden layers of meaning, stuff you will never, ever find in a dictionary. Because true understanding, well, it requires something more. It turns out words aren't just labels. They're like little suitcases, and they carry a ton of cultural baggage. To really get a word, you have to know how native speakers feel about it, all the associations, the traditions, the unwritten rules that come with it. Okay, let's take the word kitchen. The dictionary says, a room for preparing meals. Fine.
Simple enough, but the social meaning, especially in a lot of English-speaking cultures, is so much bigger than that. It's often the most expensive room in a house. It's the hub of family life. It's a place where everyone is supposed to chip in and help. Knowing that gives the word a whole new depth, doesn't it?
And this right here brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. When you really get down to it, learning a language is learning a culture. You just can't separate the two.
Here's another perfect example, the word family. In a ton of languages, that word means this huge, sprawling network of aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone. But when an American speaker says, "I'm spending the holidays with my family," they probably just mean their spouse and kids, who might live hundreds of miles away from any other relatives. See? That's not just a different definition. It's a huge cultural difference packed into one little word.
So, you see, the real goal here isn't just to collect a bunch of words like you're filling up a stamp album. No, it's about using those words to understand totally new customs, to see the world from a completely different perspective. And, at the end of the day, it's about connecting with other people in a real, meaningful way.
And it all comes back to this one simple, powerful idea. When someone has to do something, and the only way to do it is by using certain words, well, those words will be learned. That's when the magic happens. That's when real, lasting learning kicks in. So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. What's a word in any language, even your own, that you only really truly understood after you experienced its meaning out in the real world? Give that some thought. Thanks for tuning in.